Motorsport Manager, and a lot of people are way into it. But also, Microsoft Flight Simulator isn't out until tomorrow, and a lot of people are still craving more content for it. The poll was basically split, so I said, okay, we'll do one race, we'll do one short flight. We're going to start with the racing, though, and I'm very looking forward to what's going to happen today, because this is the first race of a new season. We're still working on our Underdog Manager. We did much better last season, our introductory to the Asia Pacific Super Cup, than expected, and hopefully we can do even better this season. I don't know if we're in a position to make a run for the top spot, which ultimately is what we want to do. But we're, cross our fingers that we can get some pretty good results in there, keep the sponsor money flowing, and continue to improve our parts pretty substantially for the next season as well. And hopefully that will maybe carry us through to promotion. We'll see how it goes. Did you catch the race yesterday? I don't know, Mr. Nacho. All I remember is just passing out due to like pure boredom, and then when I woke up, I don't know, some Mercedes guys had won or something like that. God, the race yesterday was boring. Oh my god, especially after the Silverstone races, both of them in a row. In particular, the 70th anniversary Grand Prix was a surprisingly tense race, despite that nothing, in a sense, not that much happened at the 70th anniversary Grand Prix last week. Like, in a sense, not that much happened, and in a sense, it was pure, like, nail-biting drama the whole way throughout. But yesterday's race in Barcelona, womp womp. Very dull. Very unfortunate. But, yeah, the part of the problem with Spain, so part of it is it's a little hard to overtake, that's part of it. But some people argue part of the problem with Spain is because that's where people go for testing their cars. That's where winter testing is. So for that race, they've already done like 500 laps of it, basically. And they know the ins and outs. They know exactly how their car is going to behave. So there's a little bit less surprises and RNG and things to adapt to. So that may have been part of the issue. I don't know. We'll see. I think next week is a break, and then we're going to be back after that. So we'll see how it goes. But we'll see. We will see. Change the layout of the final corner, which makes overtaking to turn one more difficult. That might be part of it too. Funny, a lot of little things can happen that sort of build up there. I don't know. So, we're here to race in Motorsport Manager. We are doing the Underdog Challenge, which required us to start in the worst team in the bottommost league of the game. We have since been promoted to the mid-tier league, and our goal last season was simply to not get relegated. But in fact, I think we came out something like 7th overall, which is pretty good. New season did start at the end of last week. What we did do is we did pick out our new chassis parts. And then at the start of today's stream, I let the time advance through to the testing round, just to save a little bit of time. Now, I did get a couple of pop-ups for events leading into it, and added 1 star to tire wear and 1 star to tire heating for some amount of money, but it's certainly a lot cheaper than some of the chassis upgrades. That seemed really good. It'll be interesting to see how the tire heating feels. If it really feels like it takes a long time for our tires to actually overheat, that will be pretty good, because we can run them a lot more aggressive for a lot longer, and I suspect that's probably the case. But the tire wear improvement's also going to go a long way for that. So we're going to see. There are 3 leagues in total. So we're in the Asia Pacific Super Cup. The next one above that will be the World Series. New change this season, we did push through. So in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, the engine is a spec part, but we also pushed through a regulation to make the gearbox a spec part in here. And that's going to make it a lot easier for us to manage our costs, which is certainly something that we're still going to have a little bit of a hard time with compared to some of the AI competition. Currently, our front wing and actually our rear wing are slightly better than average, which is nice to see. Our weak points are really our braking and our suspension, so we may go and put in a little bit of work there. At the end of the last episode, we were still missing a second race mechanic. I have gone pick up Richard McCluskey, who's one of the people that we were negotiating with, and also for a lead designer. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a really strong lead designer. We've got Jefton Santos Ribeira here. Now, kudos to him for having excellent hair. Truly excellent hair. I don't know what's going on with it, but man, oh man, it's amazing. His actual designer stats are not very good. His best thing is an engine, which is a spec part for us, so not very useful, but does have a lot of known components, some of which are quite interesting. This good component adds a random great component. I don't think the no condition loss on first race really matters too much, although maybe we could do some funky things with it. His epic component is produce an extra part for no additional cost or time. And the -3 risk level, meh. Yeah, so it's not fantastic. We will see. The cost to break his contract isn't actually that much if we do have someone else. The problem is we couldn't. No one who was better was willing to join us. There was one person, but I think it was like a $3 million break contract clause, and I was like, no, 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 no. So at least he's got some really interesting known components, even though his actual numerical stats are pretty weak. But you know, what can we do? So if we take a look at the car, yeah, so some of these stats are actually in not bad shape. In terms of parts, so okay, hold on. If we're looking, yeah, if we're looking over here, so we may want to prioritize braking or suspension for our next part, since those are some of the areas we're a little bit worse in. So if we look at what we might improve, we want to focus on improving our reliability before the next race. In theory, we don't want to improve reliability on anything that we're likely to replace first, which is likely to be braking or suspension. Whereas other things may stick around. Actually, both our rear wings have pretty good numbers. Like if we're just comparing the numbers to other categories over here, the rear wing is in the 600s, and that's all that is currently in the 600s. And even if we look at the improvability of these parts, a lot of them aren't there. So the rear wing is, I believe, the super mega illegal part that we carried over from last year. The pair of them, I think that's what's going on over there, which explains why they are pretty good. So I don't actually think we're going to be looking to replace the rear wing that quickly. I think we'll be looking to improve other parts first. So what I've got is, therefore, since I'm not replacing them right away, I do want to work on the reliability of these guys, for sure. We are likely, I think we're going to do the suspension first, because at 477, our suspension stat is really, really bad. The brakes actually aren't that bad in terms of pure numbers over here. So we'll see there. And our front wing, even though we have one decent front wing, the other one is pretty miserable. So what I was thinking was we might go and design a front wing first. A front wing and suspension, one of each, might be our first projects. And then we'll see where we go from there. I don't know. Yeah, I know our brakes are crap. So that's gonna lower the amount of just sort of free points we get along the way, which is kind of unfortunate. But maybe that's going to be one of the instances for not carrying things over. J.M. Boswick, thank you very much for the contribution to Whiskey and Chuck Fun. Nice to see you live after listening to you at 2x speed the past week to catch up on the session. So glad Motorsport Manager is back. Gotta go fast. Boswick, thank you. And I do the same thing. I watch so many videos at either 1.5 or 2 times speed to burn through them faster. And it's surprising how easy it is to follow along with a lot of videos at a higher speed. Let's take a look at suspension first, just sort of arbitrarily here. We can just throw in a +20 on the medium corners. That's possible, just get some raw stats. The other thing we could consider here, since this part, most likely, this is not going to be our best suspension of the season. Most likely, we're going to want to improve beyond that. Although, now this random, I assume with this, it's not picking one of these. It's picking some possibility. What if it picked an illegal part? That would be a great, yeah, I don't know. But what I was wondering is we could just take the reliability boost. That way we can use this part much, much quicker, right? We don't have to wait until our reliability is at least 60 or maybe 70% before we decide it's safe to the car. I mean, we still will, but it's going to be that much closer. The base numbers here are still going to be better. So if we compare our suspension, let's take a look at actually what our suspension looks like right now. Our suspension, 477, 427. So the 427 is the one we're looking to replace. And so that suspension over here, we'd still start at a 534 and could improve to a 549. And that's not so shabby. So, I don't know. There's sort of an argument. The +20 medium speed is obviously a better part, but we'll have to work longer before I use it. And the question is mostly, how long are we going to use this part? If this part is only going to be used for maybe a race while we wait for other parts to come in, I don't know. Did I say 427? Wait, 527? Hold on. Sorry, it's this one I was trying to read. I was trying to read this one that says 477. If I said 427, it's because my eyes skipped lines, but I'm looking at this lower one. So our lower part is a 477. Sorry, not 27. And we'd be replacing that one. So we would get even if we don't give the +20, we're still going to get a 50-point improvement over what we had. So I think this is sort of 6 and 1.5 dozen the other. They're both sort of valid strategies. Maybe we'll just go for the flat-out performance and we'll see what's going on there. Yeah, his brain was right, just his mouth was wrong. Yeah, no, I think my eyes sort of skipped lines, right? Because of those numbers. So maybe we'll go ahead with this. And yeah, I'll start with that. And yeah, our designer's not stupendously good. We're just going to have to put up with it for now and see how it goes. Stupid question. You never build a motor. They're always spec parts. What do you get if this part isn't the spec anymore? Oh, like if we change leagues or something? I don't know. Or if it stopped being a spec part over here, I don't know if we'd start with the spec part and then we'd have to design from there. I'm not sure. All right. So we'll start working on this. That's going to be fine. I think in terms of our part improvement, this is still going to be okay. Improve both brakes, improve the one suspension that's going to be around for a little bit, and some of the others. The thing is, we're still going to have a hard time. What I might do here is cycle. As some of these parts hit maybe 70%, I'll take them out and then add in other parts to try to make it so that the first race, we hopefully don't have to do too many repairs in the first race. Fingers crossed. We are improving. We're building the forecasting center finally. We do have some money left over, but I'd really like to throw a lot of this into part design rather than building. We have a good number of buildings. We could use a few more upgrades, although the more building upgrades we do, the higher our monthly costs are from the building themselves. So I think some investment parts can be okay. I did go and do a couple of checks on our crew, renewed some contracts and things like that so that we're okay there. Last race of last season, we'd forgotten to cycle the crew around, which is a little unfortunate, but this isn't too shabby. Well, this guy's not great. The fixing is actually going to be quite important for this race. So hold on a sec. Roderick over here, who's got 13 tire, 12 fixing. Let's bring you in. Oh, actually, you over here have 13 tires, 15 fixing. Let me do that, because it's going to be very important. You are terrible. See, this is what happens when you just cycle with the remove fatigue crew. It does not do a very good job. This guy's 12 and 12. His stamina's a little lower. There might be some mistakes. It's fine. What's your... Yeah, base mistake chance is 0%, so that's not too shabby. And we've got an 11 and 9 over here. I guess we'll bring in a 12 and 12, something like that. Okay. Few ajustements. We have a 18 front jack guy. We have a... front jack. Yeah. And they've got the same amount of stamina, so let's go ahead and do this. All right, that's not too shabby. Yeah, I don't, like... Sort of wish some of those mechanics were a little bit better, but some of the mechanics for auto-cycling, that's going to be okay. We do have a 15 refueling guy. Over here. Yeah, but he's running the front jack. We have a 17 refueling guy here. Who is... Oh, now that's interesting. Because he's in the fixing position. I think that's still okay, though. I think that's going to be fine for this race. That is interesting. We could put him in refueling instead of fixing. Bono can't fix. Hasaka can do a 12 refueling or a 12 fixing. So actually, I guess that makes a little bit of sense. I mean, we're probably gonna have to do some fixing anyway, but we know we're gonna have to refuel the one time regardless. So we may as well do something like this. Put in Carpenter. Oh shit, yeah. Hold on. And he's got a 13 but 11 on the tire. I guess that'll be okay. Okay. Maybe vaguely optimized there. I don't know. Anyway, let's move forward with the time here. So we're designing a part, we're improving a part. This part will be done before the race starts, but again, we're unlikely to be able to use it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start advancing time. Oh yes, our targets. So we're predicted right now, our chairman is predicting us to come in 7th overall. I think I'm likely to say yes. If we go lower, we'll get less money, but if we exceed it, our chairman will become happier and our marketability will go higher. But our marketability, or at least our team marketability, should be basically... Well, it's not currently maxed out, but it'll probably get there soon enough. And even without being maxed out, we're still at 5 stars. So I don't think we're looking to undercut our expectations. We could go up to 5th. We'd certainly get more money, but it might be... I think it's a hard guarantee. It's more cash, but the thing is, it's usually lower to under market and then exceed that, because then you get the marketing and the chairman happiness put in there. So I think that's going to be okay. And, you know, the high marketability translates to probably more money for this. So I'm going to go ahead and say 7th. That's going to be okay. And we'll advance some time. So I'm going to let a few days go by, and then we're going to check on our part reliability status and make some adjustments. So I'm going to put a stop in there. We'll take a quick look. No, they're still below 70. Which is better than some parts. Ria's Racing Trucks. +1 overtaking, +5 marketability. Very nice. Yeah, Singapore. 35% chance of rain on Sunday. If we look at the specs on the race, it's going to be tire wear's pretty good. Focus next season, that'd be all right. Yeah. If we take a look over here at Singapore, it's 33 laps. It's got very high fuel burn, high tire wear, and you can see the parts that are crucial. You can see it's like half street circuit and then half some sort of big loop. All right, suspension design is finished. Now, we're not going to start using it right away because its reliability is going to be too low. Okay, you've got a 69, a 67, and a 67. Let's, other things our car might use. Well, the front wing is only at 59%, so let's give it a little bit of love. We'll start working on the new suspension. You can start working on improvement for that as well. I'm wondering if we can just get this new suspension just working. Like if I just canceled a few of these others, could I get this? We've only got 1 day to go, so no. The answer is no. We're not going to be able to get there. I'll just I don't know. I'll throw this rear wing back in there, and we'll try to squeeze out a few more percentages. The first race is always a super low reliability race, and historically we've done a pretty good job of managing that. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Royal Hawk. It's not so easy, huh? Great game for that. All right, we are off to Singapore. We'll take the 7th or above bonus, which wouldn't be too bad. Parts fitting, we've got nothing to do because we're not adding the one new part because its reliability is far, far, far too low. No, way too unreliable right now. So we're not going to go and do that. But it'll be ready for the next race, so that's going to be okay. All right, there's going to be some heavy rain during practice. Oh, and build new part. Duh. Thank you. Too late now. Too distracted by conversation. We only lost 1 day. In fact, we only lost about a half a day, I think, of design time on it. Just try to remind me after the race. Well, we'll be looking through after the race. The part design gets frozen after the race anyway because it's got to go into repair mode. No, the improvement does. Maybe the part design doesn't. Last year, Porter got a podium finish the first race. He did. Like we were thinking we were going to be like, you know, dead last, and then he podiumed in the first race. Mostly because we were looking at the we were trying to manage our parts a fair bit. All right, we're not going to do any weight stripping whatsoever because we have no reliability as is. It is an extremely high downforce track, which makes sense with all the 90-degree corners. The higher downforce means that our car is going to suffer a little bit more on these straights, but everyone else is going to have to do it as well. They don't really have much of a chance, much of a choice over there. Let me just get the downforce in a reasonable position for both. Yeah, you're going to want probably a little bit more than that, something like that. What else are we talking about? The handling, the speed balance, we probably leave somewhere around there. Let's take a look at our tire situation. So it's a 33-lap race. Porter's going to have to two-stop regardless. 8, 20. He could probably, with a little bit of tire saving, which I don't like. I was going to say, with a little bit of tire saving, Porter can do supers and then 2 softs. On the other hand, if he just goes soft, 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 he doesn't have to worry about tire saving. Because, so, you know, on the small end of this, it's 36. Assuming that we wear them a little bit harder than that because we're driving them harder, then we're probably pushing up at about exactly 33 laps, which is what we've got. I think a triple soft is exactly what's going to happen. I didn't check all the temps. This is the rainy day, and it's actually quite warm. So I think it's going to be a warm race both days. So I think this harder compound is going to be the way to go. I think that's going to be really easy. Plan for more stops. You will have to fix stuff. I mean, that's true. Ideally, you know, we'll see if we can just... The first stop, we shouldn't have to fix anything. The second stop, which is where we're going to be doing refueling, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to go with full fuel, aim to not fuel on the first stop. The second stop, because we can repair and fuel at the same time, that's probably when we're looking to multitask some of that stuff. Although, maybe we could sneak in a preemptive repair on the first stop, but it's not like we can get a reliability above its cap. So all we can do is you know, repair what has lost, which might not be so much. So we'll see that. The race day itself looks like it's probably going to be clear. There was that 35% chance of rain, but the prediction is probably clear for race day itself. So Hopefully nothing there, but we'll see. We're going to practice in the softs anyway, because then we'll be able to bring that race knowledge in at least there. Now, Rhea might be able to one-stop the race. In theory, with massive tire saving, she could. In practice, that doesn't seem very viable. I suspect that Montero here, what we'll do is we'll do the first stint on supers, then we'll do... well, she might be able to go super, and then soft. But what we'll do is we'll go super soft into soft, and then when we bring her in for the final stop, we'll then be able to make a decision as to whether we can go supers or softs at the end. The timing will be a bit dependent on fuel and repairs and things when we're going to have to pull her in at that point. Yeah, we don't have a lot of sets to play with. That is true. We could consider with Montero, we could consider going super, and then soft. I mean, on the lower end of the range, it would bring the 34. It mostly depends a little bit on how much we push the tires with her. But it could potentially be viable to go double super. I think what's going to happen, we're going to start her the first stint on the super softs, and then we're going to evaluate when she comes in for her first stop. We'll look at the timings of, what lap we're on, how much fuel we have left, and what our repair status is, and then we'll make a bit of a decision between there. I'm still going to practice on the softs, though, because I think there's going to be a fair amount of driving on the softs, and we might use that knowledge. We might not, because we might just use something like race trim plus one of the mechanic bonuses, so we will see. With her speed balance, I suspect the speed balance will end up about here based on the other one, but if we get told here that we're good or poor, we won't know what direction to move in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten her speed balance. Almost certainly this is going to be way too weighted towards acceleration, but then we know we're going to be nudging it in the right side. Everything else I'm pretty happy with, I think, with our setups in terms of knowing what direction we might move into. So I think we're going to get going. Continue. Take practice. When Lando Norris joining stream, you know what? I got a big jug of whole milk in the fridge waiting for him. Maybe we can coax him out at some point. Race trim is going to be what we're looking for. Head on out. Same thing here. Race trim. Well, here's the thing. Oh, they've got new mechanics. They've got no relationship with the mechanics. I was going to say, when they develop more relationship with the mechanics, they're going to be using more of the mechanics' special abilities on the race, and they're less likely to use the race trim knowledge, which makes the qualifying trim potentially more potent there. And Rhea does have developed her relationship with the mechanic. Porter does not have a relationship with his mechanic, though, so I think we'll have to get the race trim, tire trim tech over there. All right. Bring in. There's the rain for practice. Ooh, we got excellent downforce right away. Fantastic. Got a sauna for Valtteri. Bottas seems like such a swell guy, doesn't he? We're right at 94%, which is fantastic. What we're going to do is we're going to soften the suspension by 2 notches. It'll tweak the speed balance a little bit. We'll see if that stays great or what goes on. So head on back out. We'll bring you in one more time. But then we're going to start getting some real practice in here. Oof. A little bit rougher over there. Oh, we already talked about the Barcelona race. And that was an incredible snooze fest. So boring. So disappointing. Looks like, yeah, you're going to want to soften up the suspension quite a bit and probably shorten up the speed balance pretty substantially. But we missed a little bit heavier with Max, but that's going to be okay. Bring in. Actually, Montero is going to be any second now. There we go. Ready to come in. Double excellent and a great. I'm expecting 96, maybe 97% overall. 97% overall. Lovely. Great speed balance. Yeah, this is going to be good enough and be perfectly fine, I'm going to suggest. Let me switch over to qualifying trim. Oh, no, Max really does need the race trim. Yeah, because he's not going to have everything else. And this is shared between both drivers. So yeah, no, we've got to keep her on a race trim, and you can stay out for the rest on race trim. That's going to be okay. I mean, I could switch them to tires. I don't know if the knowledge goes slower if you're on the wrong tires for the weather. Maybe I should have put her on wets. But I still want to get the soft knowledge if it's possible to accrue it. You know, that's one of the things we're not sure about. We're not sure if the knowledge gain changes if you've got a mismatch of the weather. Our race trim is going up, and knowledge. Our race trim knowledge is going up faster than our soft tire knowledge, so it's possible. On the other hand, if the race trim still goes up the same rate, and we just don't get much XP on the soft tires, that's fine. We don't want XP on the wet tires anyway. Moot. Probably not racing on them. 97% over here seems fine. Yeah, let's go for full race trim knowledge, and then just stay out and do that. Okay. Now, part of the issue is Rhea still has really bad feedback, so these numbers go up really slowly for her. It feels to me that the race trim might go up at the same rate. I think the tires might not, although now it's dry. And honestly, I'm not really seeing much of a difference in the speed. It could be the tires are getting a little bit better, but I think the race trim is going out at exactly the same rate, regardless of what tire we're on, so. Moot point, we will get the level 2 race trim. Getting level 3s is really difficult with Rhea's incredibly low feedback stat. Iron trim go at same speed during correct weather. We almost got the level 3. She just needs to get like another point or two of feedback. It's so low. She still has lots of potential though, so it'll be interesting to see. In terms of lap times, fairly low. Not really a surprise because we... oh man, they really captured the feel of Twitter, don't they? Yeah, by the time it dried up, we were on worn tires. It's not like we were going for high lap times in practice. Now, here we are in qualifying. I am just going to automate it because, you know, I don't really care. They'll burn through 2 sets of super softs during qualifying, and that's going to be okay because we're not going to be using 3 sets of super softs on actual race day, so that's going to be fine. We're not doing any weight stripping. I'm just going to simulate it. Maybe we could optimize a little more if we, you know, went in and then hit the automate after that, but... Vanessa like Martin. Yeah, Martin flipped to another team. The thing, us firing Martin's the best thing that could ever happen to Martin. We paid him $3 million to leave, and then he got hired by another team where he's getting paid like 3 times as much as we ever paid him. So it was a really good outcome, but it's good for us too because our marketability goes way, way, way higher. Way, way, way higher. It would be funny if Martin won the first race. That is true. That would be really funny. Predator Racing Group, I have painted my bedroom the same colors as your cars. Other half's not happy. LOL. Thank you for the all caps. Getting some credit on our... a lot of people being fans of Predator Racing Group over there. Yeah, Martin third in qualifying. I mean, he's in the team with a much better car as well, which is going to help a long way. The soft tires, race trim, obviously. And over here, we do have the 50% faster fueling, which is interesting. I'm definitely going race trim. Since, if Rhea Montero was going to be on soft tires the entire race, I might be tempted to do that, but she's not. She's going to do at least 1 stint, if not 2 stint on super softs, so this is going to be lower value, so we will do the pit fueling guru, and that's going to be okay. So, car strategy. Max, I think, has to do 3 on softs. It'll be 3 on softs with us pushing really hard. If there's weird stuff with safety cars or something else going on, it's possible that we'll actually sneak in a final stint on super softs, but I don't think that's going to be the case. We could underfuel Rhea and then use the time discount. That's possible. That is possible as kind of a sweet spot. But while it would be nice to start them off on super softs, and I do want to start people on the softer tires earlier in the race more often, it makes it harder to calculate the end of the race, but it would really be nice to get some position advantage in the early phases when we can overtake. I think Max is going to be all soft the entire race. And so that will do 12 to 14 laps. We're going to have to be a little careful about our fuel because I would like us to hit 0 fuel right when the second set of tires wears out. Which actually won't be much of a problem, because here's the thing. We're only starting with 80% engine condition. We can't do the race where we're like in red engine mode all the time. I think it's going to be like 1 lap on red, and then to orange, and then we're going to have to babysit it very, very, very carefully. Here's the thing. If we did everything on orange and we were doing 24 laps, let's say 24 laps, so we'd actually use 26.4 laps of fuel. That's basically it. So basically with Max, if we want to line it up that way, well, actually his stints might be a little shorter because we're probably going to push his tires more aggressively. So I'd say 1 lap on red, and then from then on we'll go orange, and it should line up pretty well with the second pit to have 0 fuel. And then we'll fuel them up while we do some repairs, and I'm going to be fairly pleased with that. Okay. So that's going to be you, Max. Now, with Rhea, because her tire wear is much better, I am going to start her on super softs to get a bit of an edge early on. Now, 10, so about 26 laps, maybe a little less because of pushing. The fuel sort of works out there. I think it's going to be a very similar thing where, in fact, we might do 1 lap of red, then go down to orange, and then we may have to go down to yellow for the last little bit, just to make the timings work out more optimally. But we'll see how the tires go and things. We might push it a little bit more. Yeah, you know, I know. Well, 80% reliability is not so bad. When you're at 100% engine reliability, you can do the entire race on red. At 80%, I think we can do most of it on orange. We will see. Well, that's a good point. If we're going to be... Well, we don't know. We're assuming we're going to be repairing while refueling. And if so, maybe saving refueling time doesn't matter. But it's always a possibility that we won't have to repair anything. That seems pretty unlikely. If we assume we're going to have to repair something while refueling, which honestly is pretty fair, maybe we should just go and do this. Even if it only ends up being 1 stint on soft tires, it might still win, you know, come out ahead of time. Where do people want to go based on that logic? If we have to repair, then this might not be that useful. If we only do 1 stint on soft tires, this might not be this useful. We don't really know how it's going to end up. After the race, we'll have been able to figure out which one was the correct pick. But going into it, we don't know. I mean, we might be able to avoid any repairs. It's entirely possible. Tire performance, you have to... Yeah, I mean, repairs are almost certain. Yeah, all right, we'll go with the tire performance. That's going to be fine. Driver strategy, we are going to start everyone both on double red, but we're going to pull back on that real fast. Real fast. So it is race day, predicted to be dry, 28 degrees. So, Rhea, we're going to have to watch her tire temps pretty extensively here, but overall, I think we're going to be okay. All right. Let's get ready to go. 5 red. Lights out, and away we go. Rhea, actually both of our drivers with an excellent start, but then they both get held up by the drivers in front of them. We had a much faster start off the line, but we weren't able to overtake. Now, Max Porter is actually putting, his first lap hero into play to get some overtakes going. That's good. Some people are conserving on their tires right away. That's interesting. Not engine, but tire. Actually, both of our tire temps are a little lower, possibly because of our compound settings. That's entirely a possibility here. Looks like Max isn't going to be overtaking anyone else right now. I mean, the seconds are pretty close, but we're going to pull back on his engine mode and, in fact, his tire mode immediately over here. Montero is 2.6 and closing. We're going to keep her in here as long as she continues to close. Well, let's give her a chance to maybe overtake for 15th place here. And there she goes. In fact, she's even potentially been making a move on Max Porter there. Well, she's in on 14th. And there's some continuing to fight. Things are still really tight here. I want to give him a little more. I'm really worried about all of our longevity. Martin in first place. We know he's a great driver. We knew he was a great driver. That was never the question. He's awesome. Unfortunately, we love money more. Now, you get money from winning, but that's not, the only thing. Okay. I'm feeling a little weird keeping them both on dual red here, but they're in such a tight fight right now. I want to give them every tool in their arsenal that we can possibly give them. Montero, there we go, back in 14th and holding on. Who is this in 15th place? Hamilton! Can we get an Aaron Burr on the phone here? I have a driver we need to take out. Just saying. All right, this Hamilton's not losing that duel. All right, we're going to have to pull back on these because we are a little bit tight on a few things as is. We're going to go back to, we're going to have to go to double yellow. Some people are still sort of doing conservy things, so being on double yellow is not quite as critical as it looks. Are you in Aaron Burr, sir? Hee. Burr's on a rooftop somewhere? Damn! All right. Montero chewing through tires a little faster. She's on softer tires, so that sort of makes some sense. Sort of makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Temps are pretty hot. Yeah, it's a warm day. It was not a mistake to pull back on the tire mode here. In fact, it's possible our tire temps will continue to climb on yellow. In particular, keep an eye on the super softs over here. They're going to warm faster than the softs, so we'll have to see how it is. We had figured, actually, we could probably do most of the race on orange, so I should probably go back to over there, actually. I forgot about that. I shouldn't have pulled back there. The tires, yes. The rest of it, not so much. Montero making another move over there, back in 15. So 14, 15. Max is a second behind 13th place. Ooh, 3/4 of a second. Max, are you closing in? Okay, not so much there. What about the next little interval check? 6.7. Oh ho ho. Oh ho ho. Engine condition, they're still sitting at 80. They haven't started to degrade yet, which is nice to see. I feel like this temp might still be climbing here. We may have to pull back a little bit. Martson still in the lead. Again, best thing that could possibly happen to Martson. I don't feel, you know, I don't feel bad about how things went here. It was good for us. It was great for him. All around, great moves. Porter's form is down to a 2.0. That is not what we like to see at all. Montero's tire wear continues to be a little higher, which is fine. She will be coming into pit first, and that's going to be okay. Yeah, her temps keep going up. I need to go and get her to conserve a little bit because her tires are going to overheat. I wonder, yeah, should we use team orders? Get Montero past? She's on the softer tires. Not if I'm having her be on conserve. We'll let them race. Come on. Let's just let them race. Unless there are things that are way out of whack, and I'm not convinced that was a way out of whack situation there. If I'd realized a little sooner, I might have tried team orders before we had to cool her tires. In fact, we're going to have to cool down Porter's a little. I'm going to throw him on conserve now, too. Especially since he's got to stay out one extra lap. Now, his cliff is not going to be quite as dire. His cliff's at 10% instead of 15%. But I still don't like to keep them in that lowest performance band. Now, I mean, maybe I should. Maybe I should do more laps at the lower performance band rather than pit them. I treat that lower performance band almost as if it were the cliff, because it's a pretty bad degradation. Now, it's going to be especially bad on Montero. Her going from the medium performance band to the lowest performance band is going to be cripplingly bad, whereas it's not going to be quite as much of a significant difference with Max. So it'll make it that much easier for him to just stay out. These temps are still staying really high despite being on conserve. It is interesting because we do have the improved tire heating stats on our chassis, but no one else is currently having to do that. Although no one else may have run red and orange as long as we had. So they might be fine with sort of a gradual climb up the temperature band with the medium engine mode. Porter's really having a hard time with this and keeping his tires proper. What's wrong with Porter? Yeah, his form keeps going down. He's really not feeling it today. Well, that's right. I forgot he developed the Sim Racing Championship, or Champion trait, before we started racing today, giving him +2 overtaking. I'm not sure that's entirely paid off here, but we'll see. How's our conditions? Overall, not too shabby. Engine condition going down a little bit now. But yeah, I think we can easily do orange engine mode for the entirety of the race. I don't think I'm too worried about that. Okay, I'm going to go and put her back on yellow engine mode here, or tire mode, because she can afford a little bit of creep up over here. Yeah, her form is terrible too, 2.7. I don't know why they're both feeling so miserable. Did they come in with really low morale? I think it's random. I think like they have a consistency trait, which helps to determine their form. They may have just lucked out and both rolled really low on that. I don't know. Porter's missing Martin. It's not the same without him. He has done a couple of races with Montero. Yeah, so the big thing... There we go. Martin pitting with mechanical problems, doing some repairs already. Also, they burned through their soft tires, their super softs, really quick compared to us. Longevity may get us a good outcome, like often happens in this first race. She's going to be complaining about her tires fairly soon. Again, her cliff is at 15%, but the lowest performance band, unless it already went through, and actually she's about to cap out on her temp. Put her back on conserve for a sec here, just to stop her from overheating the tires and then doubling the wear mode. I think we're going to do one more lap on her. she at? 27%? Does tire heating affect how quickly the tires cool off too? I don't know. That's the question. Yeah, if it just slows it down both ways, like I would hope that improved tire tech means it just more biased to the middle. But I have no idea if that's the case. I think all temperature changes are slower. There we go. She's finally now only at 24% entered the lowest performance band. She's got about a third of a lap to go. Yeah, I'm concerned that what would happen here is she would actually go and hit the cliff before she finished it. I think we're gonna pit her now. I think that's seeming really good. If I would not have complained if this happened now, basically just as we're passing the pits, then be like, okay, do another lap. You'll probably finish on the cliff, but it's not so bad. But we're gonna pit her now. We are gonna go to softs. 14 laps. We've got enough fuel. Even going on orange, we're gonna be okay. There's no real parts to repair now. So that's going to be all right. And then for the pitting strategy, we'll just do standard or balanced over here. When the numbers are so low, it seems like we're only saving a second for the extra risks, and sometimes it costs us. So we'll go ahead and do that. To me, I'm going to arbitrarily pick a 2-second difference as my threshold for doing that. I don't know. We can go, I'm going to put Porter up to push, actually, because we're going to pit him next lap. Or are we? We might be able to do one whole lap and then pit. I'll just put him on yellow for now. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're not doing a baby refueling here. Because first of all, we do too heavy on fuel anyway. Next pit, we have to refuel, and then we're going to sneak in some repairs at that point. Possibly two, depending on how it goes. Now, his cliff is only at, 10%. So his cliff's a lot further away. He's going to hit his lowest performance band soon. Who's in 10th? Engelhardt. Damn you, Engelhardt. Oh, who's on fresh softs, and he's pushing hard. Yeah, we can't. We're not going to be competing with Engelhardt. We're effectively in different races here. That's fine. All right, so we're going to pass the pit entrance now. There you go. He's just complaining about tire wear now. We could pit him. He's going to do one lap in the lowest performance band. 0.9 his form. Why is this guy feeling so miserable today? Oi! Alright, so you're going to come in with another set of softs. We don't have to refuel you now. None of your parts are critical yet, which is going to be okay. And we'll stick on balance, and that's going to be okay. And it actually is going to work out very well with this fuel situation. That's going to be alright. He's hungover. Haha! That could be. We're going to bring her tire mode down to a yellow. Yeah, so it does just a gradual temp up over the course of things. And then we hopefully don't have to play with conserve. Or very minimally. We're going to get passed by a few people here. Deost, who's right behind us, is brand new super softs. Not in a very aggressive engine and tire mode, admittedly, so it might hold her off that way, but she's certainly going to go a little faster. Tire temp's feeling really hot yet. I mean, that's fine. Dude, don't worry about it. You're about to pit. Doesn't matter if we're not getting an advantage from any engine or tire mode, because it's all moot. But you're not going to hit the cliff. In fact, you've got 3% left before hitting the cliff. Actually, no, it's 10% on the soft, so you had some tire left, but not much. We weren't gonna do anything there. Getting some repairs being made. Porter's going to come out ahead of Montero. But no undercut here. Fighting hard. Let me give you a double red for a second here, Max. While you're in the middle of a bunch of dudes. Okay, go back down to orange here. Alright, then neutral it up. No, that guy's right on your ass, right? Okay, keep pushing for now. Both place. Same tires. Max has got the inside! No, alright. Let's go to yellow. Dang. Yeah, no crashes, which may be a little unusual in first race. Oh! That guy went really slow. Max wasn't able to go around him, which is too bad. Tire temps definitely go up a little on the yellow tire mode, but we'll leave it there for now. Weather still looking clear, dry. Nothing weird going on there. That's the Ost again on the super softs. What are we going to do? Yeah, that low form. He was actually at 0.9 for a little bit. Max is just not feeling very good today. Meanwhile, Montero's form keeps improving. I mean, it hasn't moved her up in the race position very much, but her form is improving, so let's hope for some performance at the end. Really crossing our fingers for the sponsor objective. And even though we're not there right now, I think there's some real possibilities as people have various mechanical problems. Are you really trying to overtake? Yeah, I mean, you're within a second, but you're not like that. Well, you're closing in again. There's not a lot we can do for you, Max. I'm sorry, I don't think I can give you the okay for another engine mode or anything like that. Engines are down 63%, 64%. Again, I think we can basically orange the rest of the race, but it's going to be a little tricky. Max doesn't have last lap here. It's first lap here, right? Oh, it doesn't actually show it in here. I guess it's got all the temporary modifiers. Think Max drank too much water? He's always telling his engineer to drink water. I don't understand why. Oh, shoot. Temps. I don't know if we got a message about it. Well, now we are. Oh, well, let me drop down to backup for a second just to make sure we get a little bit of a gap. Okay, I can see a tiny sliver of red. I'm going to leave her on conserve for a little bit. I want to get past Ingledew. Well, Ingledew's probably going to crash or something. I'm sorry, I mean, we're pushing to the max. I mean, I guess we could have banked some performance and then used it for the overtake, but we wouldn't be in a position for the overtake if we were banking the performance. So, yeah, you're getting very close to the top of your temp range there, Porter. You're going to have to go to conserve soon as well. Oh, you're thinking of late braking? Yes. Yes. Does have the late braking. And the temp really doesn't drop much on conserve. And Porter's going to have to go to conserve mode soon himself just to avoid the overheat. Arrow, you are really, like, right behind everyone. It's a really tight pack today. I mean, Max has got less than a second in front and behind him. Meanwhile, Hamilton, damn you, Hamilton, is still sneaking up on Montero. Oh, no, she just put in a little bit more distance there. Collision between each other. So Mikhailovic and LaPaglia have collided with one another. Their potential penalties are going to come in there. Also, Mikhailovic has no tire left. Did that happen as part of the collision? You're pitting now. You've got repairs to do. Whoa! I don't think I've ever seen this kind of collision before. Most of the accidents are people running off the road. We've gotten a couple of penalties like applied to like maybe possible collisions, but nothing that actually caused damage. Yeah, okay. Let me drop that down to conserve. Martin, 7.5 seconds ahead of second place. It is funny that for Hamilton, my brain goes to the musical and not, the race car driver. Why would I think of the race car driver? Like, that's crazy talk. That'll never happen. There's no race car drivers called Hamilton, right? I don't think so. Martin's already racing into the league. Yeah, kinda. We are planning a two-stop, which I think is still very much in the cards. Now, here's the one issue. Our fuel consumption is basically equal between the two cars, which is a little bit awkward. We're going to have to pit Montero with basically 1 lap of fuel still left in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch Porter to a medium. I can't really switch her to a red. But yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on Porter's fuel and just make sure to pit Montero 1 lap before he goes to 0 fuel. Her tires will be slightly more worn anyway, because she pitted earlier. Although, she's got better wear. For all I know, their tires are going to sync up, actually. But he's got to go a little further because he doesn't have enough smoothness. He's got to stretch out this set of tires for the last set of tires to work. Where she could she could afford to pit slightly early. I think I might go to backup on him, actually. She can afford to pit slightly earlier because she can likely make the last one last longer. Imagine if it turns out Martin has illegal parts. Yeah, because it's not a time penalty; it's a place penalty. That would be crazy. But I don't expect anyone to develop illegal parts by the first race. But I don't know. Rhea is attempting to Yeah, she is, isn't she? Okay, attack here. Since you're going to be pitting first anyway, let's use a little bit of this. Oh no, you're losing out anyway. In chocolate. Hey, it's no one! Hold on, let me try to remember to check that during a pit stop here. Alright, giving him a little more tire wear, which is good. Oh, she's overheating now, which is not actually where we want to be. Put him back on conserve. Order shaking the hang order now. Oh yeah, 3.2 for him. He's getting a little better. Montero dipped a little, because she was up to a 5-something for a sec, right? You can see lots of other people are on the conserved tire mode. These temperatures are just crazy. Crazy. Because this is the air temperature. The track's probably got to be 50 or something like that. Maybe 60. Okay. Fuel situation. We might actually be able to get these timings pretty good. She is going to have to pit real soon for her tires, though. Complaining about some of his parts. Unless we pit her now. This board does lie on the equator. That's true. I can't remember. Weren't we like the October? No, I don't remember what our season is. I guess when you're on the equator, the seasons don't matter the same way. Okay, I'm gonna put you back on yellow. I think I'm pitting Montero this lap. So she's gonna have 12 laps remaining after this. So we can do this. We'll give her a little more so she can orange some of it. Because of the condition, I'm not sure I'm gonna overfuel it too much. Well, her engine's still doing okay. We've lost 26%. We can lose, it's probably 20% over here, so we can lose another 34%. Actually, yeah, she's going to be able to push her engine a little bit more. I'll throw one extra lap of fuel in there. So we're at about 9 seconds. How is your, sorry, that was how many laps? 12 laps remaining. The super sauce would be pretty difficult, although it's not like we can push the tires. If we're going to have to be kind of conserved anyway, just because of the way the temperatures are developing, we just run the super softs on conserve, because we're going to hit max temp regardless. You'd have to make 12 laps on it. I think that's a little bit of a high ask for her. I think that's too much of an ask. I think we have to go to softs. Which is unfortunate. Because even on conserve, it's going to be really hard to not hit the cliff on super softs. Damn. Alright. So the lowest part is the front spoiler, which is also really fast to do. 4.5 seconds, and you can do the repair at the same time as you refuel. Brakes are awfully slow. We could do the brakes for free during refueling, but only if we do nothing else. And then, I mean, we've also got the suspension over here. I think we're going to risk it. We'll do this. It's the lowest, and it's effectively free. I think we're going to risk the rest of the parts. It's not. We do the repair at the same time as the refueling. So as long as the repair time is less than the refueling time, it's free. So right now, this repair doesn't cost us anything. If we throw another one in here, so this is going to cost us 3.6 seconds of time to repair the second part. Yeah, I don't remember what the crucial parts are for this race. Yeah, I didn't note it. Because that would give us a bit of a hint. But, I mean, all the parts start at about the same percentage. Some people want brakes only. Maybe. You think the brakes are graded more? Alright, we'll do the brakes then. Because it's still within our freebie range if we only do the brakes. Alright, we're going to go fast, try to save 3 seconds. The expected value is really good on the fast pits, so we're going to go ahead and do this. Still on red over there and green over there, that's going to be fine. So Max, you're going to be pitting next lap. So with that in mind, go to full overtake over here and push. Wow. Traffic there got backed up like crazy. Alright, she's into the pit lane. A whiskey and chocolate fun. Alright, let's do that now during the pit. Yes. No one hears what he appears! Thank you very much for that. Man, for some reason, watching you play this game makes me think of the Kawasaki motorcycle incident in B5. It's about halfway through Season 1. Have you gotten that far yet? I have not. We're going to have to do some talking about Babylon 5. First of all, the first episode, or I guess it was a movie they put out. Holy shit, is that one ever really good? Like, I get what people are saying. Oh, mistake on the front right. I get what people are saying about Babylon 5's first season. Now that I'm in the regular episodes, they are very sort of, yeah, soundstagey, like artificially. Oh, did I hope I pit. Where is Max right now? Okay, good. We have time. All right. Very soundstagey, sort of artificial and kind of awkward going. Although even the first episode, I'm kind of digging the plot. Okay, but yeah, that movie first, like, you know, pilot movie, whatever you're calling it, was excellent. Really enjoyed it. Got 11 laps left. No, we can't do the super softs. It's going to be the softs for Max as well. So 11 laps plus 10%. We'll go. We can go there and maybe run you into orange. But again, your engine's good, right? Yeah. Let me put an extra one in there, and we'll do a little bit of red. And actually, remind me, I have to put Rhea over on the red engine mode for a little bit as well. Parts wise, so he's got 2 at 29%, which is even worse. Although he has 1 less lap to go. We can get the brakes done in that time. Again, if we do anything else, it'll slow us down. I think we take the risk. We'll go fast. We'll take the risk and cross our fingers that we make it through to the end. We'll see. I think this is going to be fine. Like that. And like this. But the Gathering. Season 2 and so on are much more like the pilot. More money. Nice, nice, nice. I messed up my tires. Yeah, I know. Alright, you're going to go on yellow tire mode because we're still worried about temperature. Oh, we lost 3.6 seconds on that. Although we saved 3 seconds by going to fast. So it only cost us 0.6 seconds. And a lot of times there won't be a mistake. So that was definitely worthwhile. We're going to have to keep a close eye on the fuel. But we do have enough that we can do a little bit of redding in our engine modes, which is good. She's 19th right now, but lots of people are still at the pit. Now, Porter's going to go in, pitting at 5th position for his second stop of the race. It's whiskey and chocolate. It's whiskey and chocolate. Let's put you down to neutral here. Hey, Banana! Flying planes is nice, but driving cars is nicer. Again, we're going to do a flight simulator after this race. Because a little bit of both, you know? Why not both? Alright, he's finally coming into the pits. Montero. I think Porter's going to come in ahead of Montero still. That is almost certainly going to be the case. Now, he didn't get held up. Yeah, and he's off, and away he goes. Alright, Montero. Reset this. 23. So she's got 11 laps remaining, right? So 11 plus 10% would be 12.1. So yeah, she can run 2 more laps on the red engine mode, assuming the condition's okay, and it is. And then we'll pull her back to orange, and the fuel's going to work out just fine. And Porter could probably do 3 laps on the red. Alright. So now, Porter's got some clear air ahead of him. Grip's improving, still dry. So hopefully he can close in front. That's going to be okay. Montero's going to have to do an overtake if she wants to push a little bit more here, which might be a little tricky. Performs up to 6.1. Porter's still not feeling the day. He's currently at a 1.9 form rating, which is a little bit unfortunate. Mikhailovic is probably going to have to do a third pit. There's going to be a few triple stops. Anything to get this game? This game was just on sale. I don't know if it still is, but it might be worth a check. Let's double check again. He's on lap 24. So now he's got 10 laps remaining. So 10 plus 10%, obviously is 11 laps. So yeah, he can still do a couple more laps on the red engine mode. And I'm going to drop her down to orange. We're going to keep an eye on things a little bit. The fuel wear on this track was high. So we'll have to keep a little bit of an idea. Actually, I think the fuel wear is very high. I think the tire wear is high. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how this develops as we go. How's your engine? You're fine. It's mostly the front wing I'm worried about, buddy. Okay, you do have less engine than Montero, who's already down on the orange. Maybe I'll drop you down to high for now. We'll see where we are at the end of the race, whether or not we can push the engine. Because once we do hit the red line, your condition degrades twice as quickly. So it starts to happen real fast. We could try for a fastest lap, potentially with Montero, since she's not really... You know what? Maybe we just do that. We bring her in, we fix the front wing. Hell, maybe we also fix the suspension, say. If we don't care about her placement, and then just put her on super softs on double red mode and see what she can do. Especially, well, maybe wait a couple more laps so that she really doesn't have to carry a bunch of fuel with her for the last few bits. Because it's 2 points for fastest lap. And it's not that many points for just the placement. Now, Porter's in a good place to maybe end up 7th and above, depending on the pitting situation of people ahead of him. So we want to keep him out there. Fixed drive, everything sure there's no drivers in front. Yeah, but at that point she might still get released into traffic, you know, for cars that have lapped her. Humble Bundle still hasn't came on sale for $8.75. Oh, there you go. And everything you've ever seen me do in this game is no DLC. There is DLC for different types of game modes, which seem really cool, but nothing I have done requires it. Now, we don't want to make the mistake where we pit her so late that because she's a lap down, we get screwed up with our lap counters, and therefore we end up in a situation where she's only got her out lap and then the race ends. That was annoying last time. Everything else was really well timed, except I forgot that she'd have one less lap to do, and therefore she didn't actually get a chance to do her fastest lap. Womp womp. We're gonna have to do a fuel check on Porter here as he comes through the start-finish line. Although, we should be fine. Him running on just orange mode, he should be fine. That front wing is looking very sketchy. Very sketchy. So, where are we at? That's 27. So 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. 7 laps remaining. He's got more than enough fuel. If his engine was in better shape, it's actually not... You know what? I think it's fine. And there's some sort of ride on his tail. Let's go ahead and throw him back into overtake mode. He should have enough for 2 laps on overtake. And I'm less stressed about pushing her here. Okay, I think I might pit her next lap. Yeah, her form 7.3 now. She's ready, I think, to do a big triad of fastest lap. I'm sort of waiting because first of all, there's going to be more grip, and secondly, I'm just trying to burn off as much fuel as possible so she's as light as possible for her attempt at a fastest lap. The thing is, I don't know if our chassis can actually support anything even vaguely close to that, but we will see. We will see. Yeah, I'm going to ignore you, Matt. Oh, it did drop to 20%. That was a fat... Last time I checked, we were at 25%. But we are going to have to gamble that he can make it to the end on that. Because it's our only chance of getting the sponsor objective. No matter what, we're not getting into the points unless we can get Montero to do a fastest lap. Okay, let's go ahead and plan the pit for her. So you're going to be coming in for super softs. There's going to be... Yeah, you're going to be fine on fuel. In fact, we could consider removing some fuel. Which I'm going to do. Still going to give her 6 laps of fuel, which means she can do at least 3 laps on red engine mode. We're going to fix this for her. I'm going to fix this as well. She's going to lose tons of track position, but that's going to be okay. I don't think the rear wing's going to be a problem, though. I mean, we could fix everything, but there's no performance gain. I'm not even convinced there's a performance loss when you go into the red. It just degrades twice as fast. I don't know. People want fix everything? Sure. I mean, it doesn't cost us anything now. The engine's good. We don't have to worry about that. That's going to be fine. So she's going to do her extra stop for the super softs, get a bunch of repairs. She's going to be in pit for a long time. And when she comes out, we're going to try to get her to be the fastest lap. Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near... I know. It's fine. Wherever. Just pit. Now, I'm going to want to make sure this outlap, I don't care about her speed. Repairs. And in fact, what I'm going to want to do is leave... I'm going to want her to come out, back up her tires. I suppose the engine mode doesn't matter so much. In fact, it might be better if she burns a little bit more fuel. But I want her tires to be as cold as possible, so that we have range. I mean, we don't want them to start graining or anything like that, but we want to be able to push the red tire mode as long as possible. That's the plan. That Max with, like, things are glowing. You're gonna be fine, though. You're in 7th place, buddy. You can do this, buddy. I've got faith in you. Personal best sector. Got lots of room in front of her. 15 seconds in front of her, and there's... First place is miles behind her as well. Okay. Double red. Let's go. Fastest lap, baby. Oh, yeah, and she's a lap down, too, so she's really not going to run out of fuel. I'm happy we pulled a lap of fuel out of there. Now, Max, let me switch you to orange, because I realize I haven't checked you in a little bit. I'm a little worried about your fuel. So you're going there. That's 30. So you got 30, 1, 2, 3. 4 laps remaining. So actually, you're going to have to do 1 lap on yellow, but don't do it right now because someone's chasing your butt. So let's do that. Also, your tires are about to overheat. I got to put you on conserve. So yeah, double red Montero. She only did a white in the first sector. It's not even a personal best. Okay, personal best second. Personal best third. But she didn't purple a single sector here. We'll give her one more chance like this. She no longer has excess fuel. Although she's a lap down. Yeah, I don't think it's updating because it doesn't know how many laps she's going to do. But she doesn't have 3 laps left. I'm sure she only has 1 lap left, right? Yeah, because Martin... Martin hasn't actually lapped her. She's not going to do any more. She's not going to do anything. She's not even purpling a single sector. It's not going to happen, and she's going to run out of temp. So we're just going to go and set her on yellow mode, and that's it. She's not going to get a fastest lap out of this. Okay, we're still 20% on the front wing. That's good. Right, you can go to conserve now. Guy in 8th, I'm really concerned about, but I'm not sure how much oomph we've got left. All right, so, oops, not pit. No. Cancel. 1, 2, 3. He's got 3 laps remaining. He's got enough fuel to basically do it all in orange, but barely so. There's not really anything else I can do with Max. I have to somehow pray that he keeps this guy behind him. I'm sorry, I can't. You can't come in. Oh! Did we just drop from 20% to 6% on the front wing? Jesus! Oh my god, that happened fast. I don't know what happens when a wing goes down to 0. I think he just starts to move very slowly. I don't think it DNFs him. Lap 32 just started. I mean, whether he retires or comes in 8th makes no difference. So, you know, whatever, man. I mean, Montero, we screwed up her placement in the race, but it's not like she was going to get any points anyway. And we put in a good effort to try to get her fastest lap. Porter's keeping that guy behind him. Still got 6% front wing right now. Tire temps are high, but I can't really do anything else about it. Might be able to put him to neutral for a second on here. Just hope that this guy falls back a bit. Ruiz has got really fresh soft tires is the problem. Really fresh soft tires. And he's running red-orange. But I can't compete with that. Oh, he just dropped out. He just lowered his modes a little bit. So, oh, come on, Max. Stay in there. But yeah, Montero's not going to be able to finish the race. Doesn't matter, though. Doesn't matter. Come on, Max. Stay up there. She's just starting her last lap now? No, she's not. Yeah, she can't finish the race. Well, no, we're all on our last lap. Maybe? I don't know. Oh my god, Max, just stay ahead. It's not even that much money, but it's going to be something. He put a little bit of space. He's nearly a second ahead now. 0.8. He's trying to close again. But yeah, I think Ruiz ran out of tire temp and or fuel. Yeah, look at this. He's in blue yellow now. Yeah, he couldn't keep going with the aggressive modes. Just drop down to conserve for a sec here. Well, actually, no. We're going to stay in neutral because we're about to finish the race. Oh, that was close. Meanwhile, Montero's like, hey guys, fuel meter's awfully low. 0. So she's just going to coast to the end on like reserve or inertia or whatever it is. The game doesn't actually stop you when you run out of fuel. You just go really slow. It's not like she can end up worse than 20th anyway, so. Well, poor Montero, but Montero wasn't going to score points anyway, so we just threw it all at the attempt at a fastest lap. She knew what was going to happen. Maritson winning. Best thing that could ever happen to this guy. Best thing that could ever happen to him. Look at that. Yeah, running on fumes. We're just like working the ERS system, except these cars don't have it. I'm happy with the 7th place. I guess our team overall will have finished below expectations, and so we might take a bit of a marketability and a manager hit. That is something I do have to recall. Yeah, drive-through penalty and things. So restarted, ended up 8th. Maritson won and got fastest lap because he's a monster. He's a monster. For some reason, it is sticking us at 5th overall. I guess it's just putting us at the top in ties here. Yeah, I don't know. And yes, we will ask the chairman for some money, assuming he's still at 100%. We also have to remember to start building our part. We're going to do that. Then we're switching over to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Apparently, he is considering this as coming in 5th overall, so he's quite pleased. In fact, we're going to get a marketability boost as well. Excellent. Her morale went down because she did finish pretty miserably, admittedly. But we made money, including quite a bit of sponsored cash. Now, some of it is fixed, but there we go. Yeah, it is a new season. We can definitely ask the chairman for money. And I guess I see no reason not to ask him for cash. Since he's at 100% right now, and we should be able to continue to increase it. So, yeah, so we'll lose this, but we'll get, nearly 1.4 million expected. Not that we're low on cash now, but before we forget, we'll work on a new part. I wonder if we just go right into the second, the suspension over here. I wonder what happens. So these good parts, so the 2 of them are illegal. We don't care about that. This one doesn't really do anything for performance. So I say we just YOLO a random great component. Maybe we randomly end up with a stupendously good suspension. So I think that's what we do. And we hope that it turns out really good. But we do have a pretty good secondary suspension. That is true. The other thing that is not great right now are the brakes. So maybe what I'll do, I'm going to not take the 2 max one. I'm going to take this one, which is current and max. If we're looking for a part we really want to push improvability as much as possible, that could be tempting. But let's do a brake, because we do need one. And then we'll reevaluate after that. We know for sure we do need some better brakes. So let's get this started, and I think that's going to be fine. All right, car repairs are happening. I wonder what the channel is going to say. Qualification is struggling. Yeah, we need to improve our qualifying performance. Neutral, nothing much happened. All right, Maritson wins. He sure does. Any cool new people? Well, I don't think I'm going for the 83s anymore. That's a little low. These guys all have a lot of stamina. The good fixing doesn't really matter if his tires are bad. He could work the rear jack, but that's not really... I don't know if that's worth necessarily looking. We've got a 13 tire plus refueling. 10, front jack. Okay, I'm not interested in this one. I'm kind of maybe interested in this one. Plus, 96 stamina is really good. Like, none of the numbers are insane, but they're pretty reliable. You can consistently... Because we have a lot of, like, 12-12s for the fuel. Like the tire plus refueling, so this is going to be slightly better. And with a 96 stamina, I think this is an easy win. We're going to go ahead and grab that. I think I'm just going to reject the others to increase the pool of applicants for next time. I'm going to remove fatigue crew, and then hopefully we remember to do a manual reconfiguration here in a little bit. But we have the new part going. We've got that. How's the sponsor situation? That's going to come up in a scooch. Well, I think this is actually a good place for us to put a little bit of a cut. And then next race, or next time we play, we are going to mess with what parts we're improving. New brakes are only going to take, they're going to take less than 6 days to come in, which is nice. We'll have some new sponsors to choose from, and then we'll get ready for Beijing, where it looks like it's going to be overcast for the race, and we'll see what we can do. Deceleration is crucial there, and actually, so we're going to have 19, depending on how the rounding with things works, maybe 18 days to improve the new brakes. I think our new brakes are going to be ready for Beijing, which is going to be really handy. Yeah, we did just ask for more money as well. We're sorted there. That's been taken care of and is out of the way. Everything's good over here, good-ish. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with where we are here. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a short little break as I plug in my controller and get them all seated onto the monitor and load up Microsoft Flight Simulator. So 2 to 3 minutes, I suspect we will be back in the action. If you were just here for the Motorsport Manager, that's fine, but a lot of people are here for the flight simming, so we're going to switch over to that. So see you in a couple.